zero defects production. While on the other hand, the American workers operate from a foundation of individualism and low power distance. They value their personal time over company loyalty. They rely on union contracts and champion the individual superstar worker. This clash is perfectly encapsulated when the manager, Kazuhiro, when he could not understand why the Americans won't work overtime for free. To him, commitment is the reward, while to the Americans, money is the reward. This fundamental difference in cultural value dimensions leads to constant misunderstandings about ethos and motivation. So, the film does a great job at illustrating how difficult it is to enter another culture, especially when you are forced to integrate. The Japanese managers initially approached this situation with an attitude of ethnocentrism, believing that their own cultural standards, like, for instance, demanding 15,000 cars a month, are the only valid way. However, the character who makes the biggest ethical mistake is the protagonist, Hunt Stevenson. Hunt is a communication liaison, but he fails miserably at managing differences because he constantly lies to both sides. He tells the Japanese that the Americans agreed to a bonus incentive program, which isn't true. He tells the Americans they have met the impossible production quota, which is also a lie. This constant deception violates the core ethical consideration of truthfulness in intercultural communication. His actions, although meant to keep the peace, ultimately betray the trust of everyone, proving that silence or dishonesty is not a sustainable way to bridge cultural gaps. What does Gung teach us? It teaches us that when entering a new cross-cultural environment, simply knowing the rules isn't enough. You must respect the values behind them. So the lesson here is simple. Honesty and willingness to adopt a relational rather than a purely task-oriented communication style are essential. Hunt's eventual success only comes when he stops lying and forces the two cultures to confront their differences directly and respectfully. In our modern, globalized workplace, the lessons from Gung Ho remain highly relevant for us. That is, understanding, not just tolerating, different cultural communication styles. And this is the only path to successful collaboration. Thank you.